You are now listening to Handsome Reads. Grab yourself a drink of something nice as I invite you to raise a toast to yourself as we have all made it back here, alive, 1 week later, with so much to be thankful for. Just in case you're unclear or don't feel that grateful, know that I have enough gratitude for the both of us because you're here with me and you could have chosen to be anywhere else. Today, through an episode titled Severance Package, we see just how our chef and owner of 𝐵𝐶𝐘𝐒, Madame 𝐵𝐔𝐃, intends to kill an unruly guest with kindness. Do enjoy. Location: 𝐶𝐻, France. He swirled the contents of his glass with feigned calm, containing his anger until the woman returned. He had observed her, flittering from table to table like a hummingbird, a genuine smile on her face as she chatted delightedly with her guests. She even laughed at something the group in the center of the restaurant said, a lovely blush stealing up her neck. Yet, as she approached where he sat, he saw the smile slip, saw her mutter something to herself before plastering a smile back onto her face. Bonne nuit, Monsieur Brock, she offered, keeping her tone professional. Tell Gigi I wish to see her, he ordered. Is there anything that I can help you with? He shackled her wrist, tugging her closer to the table. You can start by telling me why you deny me. We have known each other these past 3 years, and at every turn you keep me at arm's length. With all due respect, sir, Marielle began, slowly attempting to pull her wrist free without drawing the attention of other guests. You are our guest here. Oh, semantics there. I beg your pardon? Semantics, you know. All a matter of how you phrase it, he waved off dismissively. He pulled again, using her off-balanced reaction to pull her onto his lap, before snaking an arm around her waist. Heavens, she smells great. She should be mine, he thought to himself. Monsieur? No, call me Kenneth. No. And perhaps later, he whispered, voice dropping as he spoke near the lobe of her ear. The waitress shivered in response. Marielle tried her best to hide her revulsion, yet her body trembled nonetheless, a mixture of rage and disgust. Let me get Madame 𝐵𝐔𝐃. Marielle barely got out, gently attempting to pry his arms from around her waist. Yeah, you do that, he responded, freeing her at last. 𝐵𝐔𝐃 swung out of the double doors with no sense of flair or hurry, smiling at the guests seated at the round table. They would be departing soon, a number of them having a single scoop of ice cream, respectively, as celebration. In the back of her mind, she still processed what Marielle had finally confessed to about the guest laying a hand on her. Unforgivable, she thought to herself. There was simply no 2 ways around it. Kenneth Brock would have his last meal at 𝐵𝐶𝐘𝐒 tonight. She vowed to herself and to the sexually harassed young woman seated back in her office. Good evening, sir, she greeted, making no attempt at fake pleasantries. I understand you requested an audience? His eyes narrowed at her choice of words before he reached for his now quarter-filled glass. "Yes," he replied, accent pronounceably Texan. "How may I help?" she asked, hands clasped loosely in front of her, calm and serene. "The girl, Mariel. I wanted to return with me to America." Gigi allowed his words to sink in, not sure that she had heard him correctly. "I beg your pardon? What good is she here when I can offer her an opportunity to see the world? I offer 1 million, and she shall come with me whenever I return to your restaurant, which is at least 3 times for the year." "My staff members are not for sale, sir. Everything has a price, even this building you operate out of." "I am sorry, Mr. Brock, but this is her home. Had she a desire to leave, she would have mentioned it to me. Until such a time, she is off limits." Kenneth gave a slow smile before responding. "As you wish, madam. Can I interest you in dinner, or will that be all?" "Go, cook me your best dish," he ordered, lifting up his telephone as it chimed, signaling another business correspondence. Gigi turned on her heel for the first time with rage in her heart. She did not see red, nor the impulse to lash out, yet she felt a thick knot in her stomach. "Darling Gigi," Andre called, pushing from his seat to intercept her march back to the kitchen. "How was everything?" she greeted the table. Several groans of contentment came from those gathered as the model, previously introduced as Evangeline, rubbed her small stomach slowly. "Tremendous. I fear I can barely move." "Do you all stay in �絵for another night?" Gigi asked. "No," the manager, Mona, spoke up. "We leave for Marseille tonight before all going our separate ways tomorrow." "We hope to see you all again," she smiled warmly. "Safe travels. When you can all move, that is." She left with the sound of warm laughter in her ears. Warm, but not warm enough to pierce the veil around her heart. She entered the kitchen to find 5 pairs of eyes immediately focused on her. "Remy?" "Oui, chef," the Lyon-born cook answered. "Fetch me my knives." Wide-eyed, he nodded before shuffling into her office. "The rest of you, give me the kitchen for 30 minutes. No questions." They left without a sound, her sous-chef the last out the door, his brown eyes flat as they stared into her own. "Blow his pants off," he whispered fiercely. "What is this?" the American asked with naked interest, staring at the dish the chef laid before him. "Why, the chef's special," she replied, feeling slightly drained from her exertions in the kitchen. It had been quite some time since she had gone all out for a guest, usually content to leave the operation of the kitchen to her sous-chef. Still, she felt no regret, finally able to vent her displeasure via the preparation of his meal. "Enjoy," she whispered demurely. "Please note that while it may leave you asking for seconds, there won't be any, as I have closed my kitchen and sent my staff home." "We shall see about that," he offered, stabbing his fork into the salad she had prepared as an appetizer. Gigi busied herself back in the kitchen area, wiping down counters and sterilizing the blades she had used to carve a mix of hot peppers and spices, which she pasted over the chicken breast. Careful not to wipe at the sweat that threatened to leak into her eyes, she dipped her head beneath the running tap before eventually washing her hands, stems, and all evidence of peppers now safely in the waste bin. Leaving the kitchen in the same manner in which she had found it, Gigi moved out into the dining area, sparingly throwing a glance at the only remaining guest in the restaurant. The large, wooden, round-faced clock on the wall read on the uptick to 1 o'clock in the morning, way past the closing time for a weekday. Mr. Brock ate with a methodical pace as he worked his way through the main course, having now switched to his knife and fork. Gigi simply waited, knowing he had no idea of what was to come. He smacked his lips in satisfaction before using the cloth provided to wipe at the corners of his mouth. "How was your meal, monsieur?" Gigi asked. "Exquisite," he complimented. "Your food never disappoints." "I am pleased you enjoyed it. Unfortunately, you are, henceforth, no longer welcome to dine at this establishment." "For what?" he laughed in disbelief. "You have overstepped your boundary on more than one occasion," Gigi offered evenly, "especially with the offer to buy my employee. She is not one of the prize mares you race." "You would risk ruining your reputation over a waitress?" he asked incredulously, throwing his dinner cloth onto the plate. "She may be a mere waitress to you, but to me, she is family." His face grew red with anger as he bore witness to Gigi's cool dismissal. Gigi stiffened in preparation to defend herself. Mr. Brock opened his mouth, but closed it before opening it once more. "You know what? Suit yourself. I don't need this crap from any woman," he spat. "Farewell, monsieur." He threw a couple $100 American on the table before sweeping to his feet and out the door. The last Gigi heard of Kenneth Brock, with him swearing before the wooden door to the restaurant slammed closed. Atop a mountain peak, some miles away, an angel floated in meditation. His breathing came evenly, the wild strands of his orange hair dancing in the crisp air around his face. His eyes were closed, legs folded in a traditional meditative pose, as wings that sprouted from his back beat in time to his breathing. There were whisperings on the winds of a mysterious man moving across the land. Talk had even reached the heavens that this man was not a mortal, but a fallen angel referred to as the Dark One. No one knew what he searched for, yet this much was clear. If it required the presence of the Archangel Gabriel, this was surely a being of grave importance. Thanks to the Creator, this sector of Europe was free of such happenings, the angel thought in the quiet of his mind, wings continuing to beat just as slowly as his breath. End of episode. Here now, things are only going to get stickier. That was 16 episodes down, which leaves us with only 8 episodes remaining. You want answers? I want more of your questions just as fast as I answer those questions. So, I look forward to seeing you next week. Continue to walk in your truth and practice daily gratitude. Until next time, and as always, love and light.